Good morning, Year 4. So for today's problem, we would like you to look at pages 29 and 30. And now we're moving on to written edition. And I'm just going to run through a couple of those questions for you to help you with today's task. So we're going to start off by looking at set A, question 10. And that says we need to do 4,051 add 2,168. Now in the book it reminds you that it's really important to make sure that you're lining up your columns correctly, as this is what's going to help you get the right answer. So to help me remember to do that, I'm going to try and remember to put my place value on to help me. So I've got 1,000, so I'm going to put my thousands column, my hundreds column, my tens and my ones, and this should help me make sure I'm lining up my digits correctly. So let's pop this on the grid now. So I've got 4,051. So I've got 4,000, I haven't got any hundreds, 5 tens and 1. And I'm going to add 2,168. Now we have to remember we always start with the ones column. We start on the right when we're adding. So let's start off by doing 1 add 8, which would give us 9. Now we've got 5 add 6, or 50 add 60, because we're in the tens column. So 5 add 6 I know would be 11, or 110 if we were thinking of it as tens. Okay, so now because I've got 110, I need to make sure I rename. So I'm going to put my 100 over in this column. I'm going to move it across. Okay, so now let's move on to the hundreds. 0 add 1 would give me 1. Add my extra 1 would be 2. 100 add 100 is 200. Cross that off because I've used it. Now over to my thousands column. I've got 4,000 add 2,000. I'm just going to think of that as 4 add 2, which would be 6. So the answer to that question is 6,219. Now the next one I wanted to look at was a question from set B, because it says find a number that is 6,739 more than 1,927. So how we're going to do this is we're going to look at the number 1,927 and we need to find a number that's 6,739 more. So we're simply going to add them together, because then that would give us that bigger number that we're looking for. So let's see if we remember how we done it last time. So we're going to start off with our ones column and we're going to do 7 add 9. I could quickly work that out by doing 10 add 7, which would be 17. I added an extra 1 to take it off. That would be 16. I need to put that here because this is my tens column. Okay, 3 add 2 would be 5. Add the extra 1 would be 6. So 30 add 20 add 10 would be 60. Cross that off because I've used it. 9 add 7, that's the same as we had before, so I know that's 16. Actually, 900 add 700 is 1,600, so I need to take that over to my thousands column, my 16. 6 add 1 is 7. Add the extra 1 would be 8. So 6,000 add 1,000 add 1,000 is 8,000. So the answer to that question is 8,666. Okay, lastly, I'm just going to show you one of the questions that's from page 30, and that's question 5 on set A, because now we're moving on to adding decimals. So we're adding 44.53, add 41.28. So I would suggest it's really important that you remember your place value grids on this one, as this will help you solve these answers. So let's do that together to start with. So I've got my tens column, so I need a tens. Spread that out, a ones column. Now I've got my decimal point. It's really important that you give a whole column to your decimal point, as that will help you to remember it. Now we're moving past the decimal points. We're moving into our tenths and our hundredths as well. So I would suggest you draw that out today to help you. So now we can pop our numbers on the place value grid. So I've got 44, keep my decimal point, give it its own column, 0.5 tenths and 3 hundredths, 53.53. And then I've got 41 point, keep my decimal point, give it its own column, 28.2 tenths and 8 hundredths, 28. Okay, now let's add those together with the space I have. So we're going to do 8 add 3, which I know would give me 11. So again, I'm going to draw another line, not leaving myself much room. and pop my 1 there because I'm moving over to my tenths column now. So I've got 5, add 2, which would be 7, add the extra 1, gives me the 8. Now this is the bit we can't forget. We need to pop that place value, that decimal point, in the space that we have so that we remember it. Okay, now we're going to look at our 1s column. So 4 add 1 is 5, and our 10s column, 4 add 4, or 40 add 40, would be 80. So your answer to this question is 85.81. If you have any questions about today's work, then please email us or ask the question on Teams. Thank you.